Welcome to another episode of the Regular Irregular Show. I'm the host with the most, aka Sleepy Melbourne, in the building, and we are here to talk about Tower of God, Urek'sAscent. I was about to say One Piece, and that is not correct. We are Tower of Guardians, and yeah, I just came up with that. But either way, this is episode 28, Mago Part 3, and we get to see a little bit of shenanigans with Chinonium and Gogo Chong, basically saying, hey, I know, suppose many of you have complaints, but let's just accept the fact that this is the situation and he's going to be on the throne. There's a little back and forth. The princess tries to attack Gogo Chong and get him off of the throne, but the attack is blocked by Chinongyam. And after this episode, I guess I can't just call him Angel since now other people are calling themselves Angel, but whatever. I knew that it was just like a title that other people also had, but I didn't think we were going to run into them so quickly. But regardless, we are here. And so he attacks or defends against the princess and then is shot in the head by the sniper that's been hiding and was taking out the other regulars. This does nothing to Chinongyam. He's kind of like, what was that? Like a mosquito bite or something? And so he ignores that, and then we get Gogo Chong talking about, hey, the prettiest among you is you, the black-haired one, talking about Neo. He thinks Neo is a girl. That is incorrect. Neo is a guy. Neo's really confused. Aura calls Neo she's like, you're like a black rose. This does not make Neo happy. But we learned some things about Neo inside of this. Chinongyam recognizes him and calls him Leo and says, it's funny that the person who's the host of this exam would hide themselves and basically pretend to be a regular and be going around with the other regulars. And he's kind of like calling him out on his shit, but then Leo, or whoever this gentleman is, basically says, you don't know me, understood? And like giving a command, and Chinongyam follows through and is like, yes, I completely understand. Everyone, please cooperate so that our Mr. Gogo Jong remains seated on the throne. If you interfere, you will die. That is all. And so, while this is going on, we switch scenes back to Urek and Mago, who is still upset because he is more focused on figuring out who Gogo Chong is and getting him off of the throne. So she attacks him and saying, did you forget that we were the ones that taught you how to use your like power of light? And he's like, yeah, you guys taught me and I hate you guys deeply. So he smashes her head into the ground and then tosses her by the face. I mean, like Broly style when he tossed Goku. Like if you've seen that, then you know what I'm talking about. Then he jumps all the way over to her to stomp on her chest. And then it looks like he wants to stomp on her face. But he's like, actually, I'm going to wring your neck out. And it's, you guys think I'm still a rookie? You guys stole my light as soon as I shone the brightest. And she's like, oh, do you hold a grudge against us? Of course I do. Why did you betray me? Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's a crazy question. But then we get someone else calling themselves an angel saying to let her go. And Urek is like, shut up, idiot. This is the tower. There is no heaven here, so you're not an angel. But we get a surprise. We have Heidi, who is the green wearing spear bearer with the gray hair. She turns out to also be on the same side of Chinongyam, Rahab, Leo, and all of that, and attacks the other two rankers with her spear at close range, saying I'm sorry, but seeming to have killed both of them, or at least hiding. Not sure if the dude with the lighthouse was able to escape or able to do something to defend himself, but we just see a blood splatter. So I'm sure that she is fine, but Heidi is fine. But I have no idea about the other girl or the gentleman who was a ranker and lighthouse bearer. We then get basically an agreement between Urek and this new gentleman saying that he's Angel, saying that, hey, if you let us leave and cover this up, we'll basically start a new test because I'm also the test administrator because this floor has 2 timelines. And so now that Lady Mago's woken up, we'll be the ones to administer this test on this floor. And so a new test will start. And if you can pass that one, then you'll be allowed to continue to climb the tower. He feels like now that Lady Mago has awoken, they don't have to hide anymore and be afraid of the ones above them. And so he's hoping to basically utilize Lady Mago so they can reach heaven and continue to their promised land and fulfill their dreams. I don't think any of that's going to happen, but we see Neo Leo here. I will say the gentleman that calls himself Angel looks exactly like Neo Leo. So maybe this Neo isn't Leo and the other gentleman is Leo, but I'm not sure. Maybe they're 2 separate aspects of the same person. I don't know. I have lots of questions because it's not like he disappeared from where the throne was at to have this conversation with Urek. It seems like a completely different gentleman has shown up in completely different attire, but looking exactly like our boy Neo. So, not sure, but he knows that they're lying. And so we change scenes once again to go to the Kun family. And so we see Namnin. There's someone inside the castle. I won't hand her over to anyone. And so we meet a new character, the fallen one, ruler of the test floor, Asa. So I'm interested if he's the ruler of the test floor. It doesn't mean he's necessarily the administrator, but it does potentially mean that this is his whole floor is under his purview. So I'd like to see if him and the one that calls himself Angel, since he's the fallen one, aka a fallen angel, if they're still have a good relationship or will there be like some conflict between those two. We also get to see that he senses the 3 inside of his castle before they disappear and hide from him. And he says, do they think they'll escape my castle? And that is the end of the chapter. So they've made it to the castle. We have a new test about to start. Urek was putting fists and feet on old girls, so that answers my question. Yes, he is clearly stronger than them, but it seems like there'll be some shenanigans and other people in the way that make the battle between them a little more arduous to happen, or actually make like a one-on-one, because it seems like a lot of people keep interfering. And not that they're strong enough to fight Urek, but it seems like they have the means to manipulate situations that puts Urek in either a disadvantaged position, like now, where it's like, hey, you are worried about this test, so we can either start a new test so you can go up, or you can lose. And so it's like, well, I always can take out you guys, but I need to continue forward and figure out where Phantomanium is, and this is the only way to do that, at least for right now. So I'm gonna go along right now with you guys. But I'm excited to see chapter 29. This has been Urek'sAscent, chapter 28. You know, your boy Sleepy Melbourne. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment below. Goodbye.